Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our admin. The message reads like this. I've been living in the shadows for the past 17 years. Every day when I wake up, I feel like there is a deep hole in my stomach, knowing the things that I have done. My heart goes out to all the women that I have slept with, more than 30 women. These are not just women that would have had kids before or who were promiscuous. I'm talking about girls that trusted me, women that thought that I was going to get married to them, the women that I deflowered. I feel so sorry for them because I was only using them for my own money-making rituals because I just want the virgin blood. But now it is very difficult for me to keep on getting these virgins. And when I did this covenant with the devil, I was told that as long as I can sleep with virgins, I will live almost forever. And I now see that my days here on earth, they are numbered because I struggle. I can go maybe for half a year looking for a virgin, not being able to find one that I can sleep with for money-making rituals. And I have been fooling myself for a very long time. And I thought that I was going to enjoy this money, but I see that this does not even mean anything. I need to confess. I need to get this out before the snake destroys me. In 2007, I was just another man who was struggling to make ends meet. Then I started to get so sick. Back in those days, I had nothing. I had dreams, big ones. You see, I was not just any man. I had been chosen by my ancestors. In our language, we call it ukuthwala, the sacred calling to become a sangoma, like a traditional healer. I had known since I was young that the spirits had plans for me, visions, dreams, strange occurrences. They would be haunting me for years. My ancestors in me, they were restless, waiting for me to accept the call. But ukuthwala is not cheap. There is training, ceremonies, offerings. It all requires money. And I did not have anything. I was just a man trying to survive. In 2007, I reached my breaking point. The call from the ancestors had become a burden on me. My dreams turned to nightmares filled with angry spirits and voices that I could not understand. My mind felt heavy. My body was really weak. I have tried everything, small jobs here and there, asking friends for help, even visiting other traditional healers to guide me, but nothing worked. The money just was not there. The shame of not being able to answer the ancestors' call weighed on me, and I feared their punishment. I was sinking deeper into despair. There were times when I would have dreams of me losing my mind. Yes, I had known other people who had refused the calling, and they were acting as if they were mad people. And then that was when I met him, the man who changed my life forever. This man, he was a sangoma, and when I approached him, I saw that he was a man who had a kind heart, but not like the others that I had met before. He did not wear the traditional beads or speak softly like the healers I grew up around. This man, let me call him Ubaba K. He was a man who was feared in his area, in a rural area in Malanga. And at that time when I went to him, I was just broke, totally broke. I just wanted someone who could assist me. But I started to hear some people in the village saying that this man, he dealt in dark magic, the kind that traditional healers, they are those that do not want to get involved in the ukuthwala rituals. But I did not care that I was at the home of a man who was constantly receiving visitors that wanted him to assist them with their money-making rituals. All that I cared about was me being desperate and him assisting me. And at that time, when I was staying at his home, that was when he called me one hot summer evening, and we then went outside. We were sitting outside, and that was when he said, "My son, tell me, what is it that is troubling you?" And I then told him that it felt as if I was going to be unable to complete this process of ukuthwala, and I was begging him, if I can complete the ceremony, after that I can pay him in installments, or if he wanted me to work for him whilst he is training me, because I was being tormented each and every night by my ancestors, and I was scared that they were going to destroy me if I was not going to fulfill my destiny. He listened quietly, and when he was listening to me, he spoke to me, and he was like, "Oh son, you do not need ukuthwala as such. Your ngedlozi is very powerful. You can use it for something else, something more profitable." He meant that my ancestral spirit was more powerful, that I can use it for something else. I did not understand. I thought that my ngedlozi was the reason I was being called to become a healer. How could I use it for anything else? So Baba K explained. He told me there was a shortcut, a way to bypass the traditional training of a sangoma, and for that man or the woman to gain wealth and anything that he wanted without going through the lengthy initiation process. He said that my ngedlozi could be used for a different kind of a ritual, one that would bind me to a powerful spirit in exchange of endless wealth. But there was a catch. Yes, indeed, there was a catch. He told me that to activate this ritual, I will need to bond my ngedlozi to a python, a physical snake, a great snake, a spirit that would become my source of wealth. This python will constantly vomit money, real tangible cash, whenever I needed it. But the snake had to be fed with what? And not just any offering. Not any offering will do. The snake craved virgin blood. I froze. I could not believe what I was hearing. Baba K was telling me that I could have everything that I ever wanted, money, but in exchange I'll have to constantly sleep with virgins and offer their blood to the snake. He said the snake will lick the blood during the act, feeding on their purity. Without the blood, the snake will turn on me and feed on my blood. This means that I will die. I told him that it was wrong. It was really wrong, because I was now thinking of the woman that I would have deflowered. What will happen to her in the future if she wants to get married, maybe after she would have kept herself for a very long time? I had grown up respecting the ancestors, following the traditions, and here he was telling me to perform a ritual that involved using innocent women for my own gain. But Baba K said that this was done. There are people who were doing this. "You want wealth, don't you?" he asked. "You want to answer your ngedlozi's call. This is the way. If you walk away now, you'll stay poor. You might even go crazy, and your ancestors will continue to punish you. They have chosen you for this. You are the one that is supposed to change the fortunes of your entire generation." The desperation inside me spoke louder than my conscience, the visions, the nightmares that had tormented me for too long. And then I convinced myself that this was the only way that I could live with the sacrifice if it meant finally finding peace. So I agreed. That night we performed the ritual. He led me into the forest, where we dug a pit in the earth. He slaughtered a goat and smeared its blood on my chest, and we then started chanting, and some of the things I could not even understand. We then buried that goat whilst we were summoning a snake. I will never forget that moment. A snake just appeared out of nowhere. A python just appeared out of nowhere. I really felt so scared. Then Ubaba handed me a small knife and told me to prick my finger so that I can let my blood drop into the snake's mouth. As I did, the python's tongue flickered out, tasting my blood, and I had made a covenant with the snake. When it was done, he then told me the snake will come to me whenever I need it. All the while it will be staying in the mountains. All that I had to do was to call for it, and it will vomit money for me, more money that I can ever dream of. But I had to feed it. I had to find virgins, sleep with them, and let the snake drink their blood. If I fell, the snake will turn on me, consuming me instead. At first I tried to ignore everything, but the money started coming. This snake, whenever I whistle, it comes to me, and this snake, all that it wants is for me to sleep with these women. So if I still remember properly, I started doing this in 2008, and since 2008 until now, I have slept with over 30 virgins. and I feel really bad. And last year I even tried to stop, but I cannot. But now what is happening is that those women that are still virgins, they are few. It's not a lot of them. So I've been going around always looking for those type of women that are virgins so that I can feed this snake, because it is always hungry. Dear listeners, right, there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin who gave us this translation. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Yo.